Hello and welcome to Two Girls, One Pod. I'm Melissa.
And I'm Crystal.
And I'm laughing because that was a little taste of our intro, outro music that we're sampling. But I'm laughing because Crystal and I didn't discuss who was going to introduce the pod today. So
Nope.
I hit play, and then when the music stopped, we just both looked at each other like, oh, fuck. Like, who goes next? So I jumped in because I tend to do that.
Good job. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. Pat myself on the back for that little jump there.
Right.
It was like I got in a quarter second ahead of you, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, so tonight, forewarning for anybody because this is our Charleston Chew episode where we are the unofficial Big Brother Aftershow.
Yeah.
So Big Brother Canada has not, noticed that we're doing this yet or offered to pay us any money for doing it or asked us to stop. We're just enjoying it. We like the show. Would love it if they wanted to give us some money. So message us. Just not with a cease and desist, because that would just make me sad.
Me too. Yeah.
So, okay. So Big Brother Canada, this is our episode where we're going to be talking about episodes 14, 15, and 16. So if you have not seen those episodes and you do not want spoilers, this is not the podcast for you. This is not the extra bonus content for you, because our regular podcast shows you probably might like. So a lot, we say this every week, literally every week. We're like,
but so much happens.
But this was like the craziest week. And okay, tomorrow is a double eviction night.
It's my favorite when it happens. I love a double eviction. And the fact that they don't know it's coming. I mean, they know kind of, because it's like, oh, well, we're this far in.
Yeah. Like they know how many people need to be there at the end and how many weeks they have left. And they know the math doesn't add up.
Yeah.
Basically, right? They just don't know when exactly it's going to happen. So they're probably already speculating. But I'm pretty excited for it. So going all the way back to last
Thursday
week, who did we have on the block? Austin and Brayden. So Austin was a player that I really enjoyed. However, I also thought it was a good idea to send her home because I thought she was a good player. And I feel like if she had to stay in the game, she would have been a hard one to beat moving into the end.
I think so.
So, I thought having her on the block as the invisible HOH put her up. I'm like, it feels like a fucking lifetime ago, doesn't it? Remembering this last week. This is why in every episode, I'm like, I'm going to remember this. I don't need to take these notes. And then I look at the notes. I'm like, what does that mean? What happened?
Well, I mean, the thing is that I think it was a good idea to get her out early. Because I think she is very smart. I do think that her, like we said anyway, her and Brayden together, they kind of almost brought each other down in their gameplay because they were so stuck to each other.
We're already seeing Brayden play a fucking game. It's beautiful.
I know. It's so beautiful. Nice. He's branched out and he's making new friends, and
he's good.
He is
good. I'm sorry, Austin, if you're listening. I mean, I know you are because everybody listens to our show, but it was smart. Yeah. He's going to have a better game because she's gone.
100%.
Without a doubt. There was one note that I made about so her and Victoria were talking and she didn't know that Victoria was the invisible HOH, and she leaves the room and then Victoria's like, cause you're going home. And she starts talking to the camera and about goodbye, Austin. And all I was thinking about was God, I want Austin to walk back in the room and catch it. Me too. Why doesn't that happen yet? I was disappointed to see that Roden used the POV. He didn't have to use it on Austin, but that makes for good TV. I wanted to see that. I like stuff.
It would have, but I mean, at the same time, I can kind of see where he was coming from because he had he was really starting to form that relationship with Tina and Tara. And he knew that if one of those people came down, that it was a guarantee that one of them goes up. So it's he was trying to just make sure he stayed safe himself.
Yeah.
Which,
And the thing is too, it was a week where you didn't know who HOH was. Like, that's
Well,
fucking
that was it.
crazy, first of all. So, I mean, he doesn't know who he's pissing off. And he doesn't, like, you don't know who to talk to try to get information from. And like,
Yep.
that's oh God, I hope they do that again. That was so cool.
It was.
That was really good TV. So anyway, yeah, so that was, I guess, a smart decision, but I was like annoyed. Tina and Tara are the moms of the house. Why did Vic get mad at Austin? It's like Victoria like went in the room and she was like saying everything about Austin. Was it because of Austin's fucking speech? Like,
no, she was mad at Austin, basically, I guess. Like, again, with the emotional play. Like, she was basically just pissy with her because she felt like she wasn't paying her enough attention. But like, you literally were going around talking about the fact that you play like a lone wolf kind of thing, and that everybody's in a duo and you've got this all on your own, and then you're getting mad at people because they haven't made you part of the team. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. Vic is well, we'll get into that a little later, but
we will.
My Jesus.
Yeah.
Tina, I don't know who it was she was hugging now because I didn't make a note of that, but I did make a note that she said hugs always help. And I was like, Tina, you are such a little sweetheart. Was it Vic? All I know is I got the note there that Tina said hugs always help because she's just so cute. I don't think so. I'm tickled like every week that she doesn't go on the block because she hasn't seen the block yet.
No.
So is she the only one? No, Jed and Ty haven't been up.
Yeah.
Okay.
They haven't been up.
But like every time she goes through another week, I'm super proud and I'm cheering her on because I really do like her as a character and I love that she's from here. But I think like if she doesn't start pulling out some wins, she's playing a wicked social game, right? Which is what we expected. But she needs I think we're at the point now where she needs to start winning competitions.
Well, she needs to because after this week, we're going into jury time. So it's like anybody who goes now,
this week is
you need to start jury management. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean, right?
Yeah. So like she's got to start like winning competitions because right now, if Tina sits on the block against anybody besides Tara, she doesn't have a chance to win. Like, no. And even if she sits next to Tara, then I think it's a coin toss, right? Yeah, so I really would like to see her pull out some wins soon. I couldn't believe how much everybody hated Austin and Brayden. Like Tina and Tara were just like walking out of the room, like giving them like, sorry guys, sorry you feel bad. Like people gave zero shits about them.
But the reason why is because they did that to themselves. Yeah, like they made themselves very cliquey. They spent too much time together. And yeah, exactly. And they didn't spend any time with it trying to get to know anybody else. It's like, yes, I understand that you like each other, but when you're in a house full of people like that, you can't isolate from all of the rest of the people. You still have to manage relationships.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, which makes sense. But I was just like, I guess because we don't watch the live feeds, I didn't really see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I did also make a note that Beth had said something. I don't know if she was talking to the camera. I don't remember, but she said Jed and Ty plus I. And she keeps referencing the 3. And I'm like, what about Kiefer? What about your 4th? Like, he's clearly not even in her head. Like, she doesn't even think about him. You know what I mean? Like, and Kiefer's just like, oh, those are my people. It's a strong alliance. Sunsetters for life. I'm like, no, dude, you're getting cut.
Yeah.
Like, you are bait. Like, they will throw you to the wolves to get any kind of fucking smell off of them. You know what I mean?
He's just a number to them.
Like, so, I mean, I hope, you know what would be good TV is if Kiefer, like, was loyal to them or whatever, and then fucking won HOH and just cut him off. Like, just fucking put him up and, like, or backdoored one of them.
Yeah.
That'd be tight.
It would be. It would be tight. It'd be dope.
that'd be hella cool.
Right?
Oh, Crystal, I'm saying hella a lot.
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
Fresh. That's hella fresh, man. It makes me feel young.
I'm gonna be quite honest. So, like, off on a tangent here. Yeah. Jason says to me earlier, he was like, watch now. He was like, we're gonna win the lottery, 16 million. And the first thing that popped into my head was, that makes my pecker hard.
Did you say it out loud?
Well, I started to, but then I was like, he doesn't understand what I'm saying.
No.
So then I had to explain the whole story.
And then it was like not funny.
And he was like, I don't know what's happening.
That's stupid. That's stupid, man. Like, whatever, cool. That's
It was
stupid.
funny.
That makes, but did you say it like, that makes my back hurt?
Pretty much, yeah. Like, because there's no
for
other
anybody
way.
listening who doesn't have a fucking clue what we're talking about, we've been listening to another podcast called This Is Important. And we're going to continue to shout it out because I'm just going to throw it out there. If anybody's listening and just wants to tag us to them or whatever, because we're so obsessed with this podcast and these guys,
Seriously.
it is going to be our mission to get in touch with them and find some way to have them on our show or vice versa or both, because we think that they're so hilarious. And anyway, so we've been binging them. Like I'm like 20 episodes in this week.
Yeah.
And we're starting to talk like them now, but it's just making my life more fun.
It's making it so much more funny.
Like it's making my life better.
And I'm happier because I'm laughing so much.
I'm a cooler person though, like legit.
100%.
And I say legit a lot. I don't know if they say legit, but I've been saying legit.
I say it all the time, so I don't know.
It could be from you.
Could be. Who knows?
Anyway, back to Big Brother. So I did make a couple of notes about Vic being a fucking phenomenal liar, but apparently Beth is too. Little preview. The fucking mess.
Oh my God.
So there was, for anybody who hasn't seen it or just can't remember because it was like eons ago, the haves, which is the people who are allowed to eat whatever fucking food they want, they're like the lucky people, had to make a mess in the kitchen, making like spaghetti and like get it everywhere, make the biggest mess they could, and then make the have-nots, the people who have to eat slop all week, clean it up. So I was hangry. Like, okay, when I'm watching it, because so Crystal and I, we're obsessed with food. So both of us, like little sidestep, little background information. Crystal and I have both done like bodybuilding bikini competitions in the past. And it's definitely helped with some binging / food / hunger / body dysmorphia over the years.
Definitely.
We'll definitely get into some stuff as we go along, but you know, it's a trip. So we did do it. We did great. We did fucking wicked in it, but now we also like love to eat a box of Oreos, not a sleeve, a fucking box. After, you know, a couple of ice cream sandwiches and bags of chips. Anyway, so I'm going off. But what that means is that like when we get a little bit hungry, like we're mean, like we cry, like I get emotional. We've had this conversation before, like, and I think I talked about this on one of our episodes, but my husband ate a pork chop that I had one time, and I think I debated calling a lawyer about divorce because I was like, fuck this shit. You're going to eat my, no, I didn't actually. But like, you know, that's kind of as serious as I get. Like I fucking like don't eat my food. Don't eat my food. So when I watched Austin in the diary room, almost in tears because they were making a mess with this food, I was gut wrenched. I was like, I feel you. And it was not right.
And then like they got it in her hair and they got it all over her shirt and her jacket, and she just went in and like I could feel her pain because I was just like, you are just so hungry.
I was like having a breakdown for her, eating my chocolate bar, eating my Charleston chew. Feel free to sponsor us. But eating my like fucking chocolate bar, watching her, and I'm like, it's just not fair. I'm like, like chewing down because like. I don't know. Hanger is real. Hanger is so real. Whenever they talk about like, you know, being weak for competition because they're hungry and everything, I'm like, yeah, I get that.
I don't know if I'd be able to do it, honestly. I'm like, I'd cut a bitch for some food. Like
I know I could. I would just be extra emotional. Like if I was,
but I don't want to be that.
Yeah. Maybe.
And it's so funny
I don't know.
because okay, so that was all bad enough, and then they all had to clean it up.
Ugh. So while they were cleaning, I was like, okay, they better get some kind of a reward. Cause I was like, there's no way that this is just like, hey, fuck you guys. And the producers are like, hey, fuck them. Like, I was like, there has to be more to it. So they did, you know, spoiler alert, they did get a reward. They got like a special dinner.
And they were off slop for the rest of the week.
Yeah, right, which is totally worth it.
Oh
But man, did I feel it. Like I literally sat there watching it. Like I could have cried.
Yeah, I
could have
definitely felt you.
I mean, maybe that's our problem for being like a little too empathetic. Like it is a TV show, but I don't know. I felt it.
Yeah. And what was I going to say that time that happened?
We've got a case of the
I know.
I don't know.
There was
How about
something
like
else that happened?
was it with the food? Are we still on the food?
No, I think I moved past that, but I don't know where.
Was it when Jed and Beth went to the roof to kiss in the rain? Because it's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Listen,
I hate their showmans.
I do too.
I don't like it.
But I'll be honest with you, I really don't enjoy most showmances. Every time that I watch Big Brother, whether it's the Canadian version, the American version, there's always a showmance, and there's always one point. There's a specific one usually that really irks me, and they're just. I'm just like,
I don't mind them. It depends on the showmance. Like I don't always mind them, but this one I'm like, I don't think they're gonna last outside the house. Like most showmances last for like 100 million years, don't they? Like they fall in love in Big Brother and then they like get married and have kids and like Jeff and Jordan still together, and that was like fucking. That was probably before you started watching it.
Yeah,
it was a showmance. It might have been like season 4 or something, like super long time ago. But they like moved. They were from like different states, and they like moved in together and got married and had kids. Like they've been together for years.
Yeah.
So like I know that Big Brother has really successful relationships, but like I don't know. I feel like I don't know, maybe they'll stick together. Prove me wrong, guys. Show me how in love you are, because it's just awkward to watch.
Yeah, I don't feel it.
You're not The Notebook. You're not Ryan Gosling.
Right? I just don't feel it. Like there's nothing. I don't know. Anyway.
I think it's because Beth is so like giggly all the time and like laughing, and because she like also had the hots for the other guy. Like I don't know, I'm just not buying it when you start as 3. I don't know
either. It doesn't make sense to me either.
I don't have a reason why I don't like it. Like I can say all these reasons, but it's not really truly how I feel. I don't know. It's just like
I literally can only say that I just don't feel it. Like I don't feel it.
Maybe it's because they're just like it's kind of cringy. Like let's go kiss in the rain, and like when they kissed on the counter and stuff, like I feel like Jed is into it more than she's into it. Or is she just embarrassed because she knows she's on TV? That could be part of it too.
Maybe.
It could be a little bit that like maybe they are really compatible and really good together, but she's just like she's very aware of like the fact that she's kissing on TV, and maybe that could be it.
That could totally be it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but for now, I'm watching. I'm like, that was stupid.
Right.
Go outside and kiss in the rain. Shower. Like, fuck off. What are you doing? Okay. All right. I got to get past this. So, I thought it was really, really smart for Austin to try to get Beth on her side and become an alliance, and that would have been a really good fucking alliance.
I was questioning whether or not it was going to go through in that way for a little bit, because I mean, it would have been smart. She would have been gunning for the boys, and then Beth wouldn't have had to do anything.
It would have been really, really genius. I was really disappointed when she didn't go ahead with that, because I was like, you know what? I just feel like by not doing that, like by voting out Austin as opposed to Brayden, it just felt like Beth wasn't playing her own game. So, I mean, I'm one to admit when I'm wrong. She's pleasantly surprised me. But at that point, when I was watching Thursday's episode, I was like, come on.
Didn't seem that way.
Grow a fucking pair. Like, make a move for yourself. Stop doing everything for your boyfriend. Right? Yeah. But anyway, we will see. Things are a little bit different. What was with when they were voting everybody out? Why were they doing this? So for anybody who can't see me, I'm putting my hands together and putting them at my ear like I'm going to sleep, pretending to be a sleepyhead. There was like 3 or 4 of them that was like, I vote to evict Austin. Is it because she sleeps all the time?
Is it the Sunsetters?
Oh, I don't know. Okay, that could be it. I was just like, what is this? Like, I've never seen it before. And they just kept doing this. And
I think it might have been the Sunsetters situation.
Like that was their signature.
I guess, but it's stupid and it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it was really stupid. So,
Yeah.
all right, Austin got voted out. She gone.
Later.
Bye, girl. See you later at some point.
Right?
See you in our DMs.
See you never.
Oh my God.
Okay, so then we get into HOH, right?
Yes.
Like right away.
There was something about, oh no, I did want to mention Victoria's goodbye speech to Austin.
Oh my God, yes. Well, as soon as it was starting to come up that she was like, they were playing goodbye messages, I looked at Jason and I was just like, watch. I was like, Victoria is 100% going to say it.
But like, she said it, but she was like, bitch, you gone. Like, she was so upfront about it.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it.
Oh, I thought it was great. It was good TV.
I was mad that they didn't let Austin react to it. I wanted her to be, because her face, like when Vic said it, her face, I guess, said everything we needed to know. Because then they cut to commercial and I was like, yeah, why did you ask her stupid questions? You should have just played the fucking goodbye videos and got a reaction on that. Like,
yeah, no doubt.
Oh, that was so good. Yeah, okay, now we're into HOH. I wanted Braden to win.
I did too, actually. But to be honest, I was happier that Beth won. What pissed me off though afterwards is like Jed going around and like saying that he thought that they meant how many days on the calendar were actually filled in, and I'm just like,
I was like, did he throw it? Like, how can they be that wrong, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It was either you misunderstood the question or you threw it. And then he went around saying that he misunderstood the question. And then I kind of wondered whether or not then he played it off like he said it to put everybody off so that they didn't know he threw it.
But when they played it back, because that was what I was thinking, but I think he really did misunderstand it. Because when they played it back, he would have, if he was going to throw it to her, he would have just got the last question wrong. There wouldn't have been a tiebreaker.
Exactly. That's what I thought.
So yeah. So unless he thought that he was answering it wrong and it was just like a mistake.
But maybe. And I mean, either way, like I understand that he said, you know, like, oh, well, I want to be able to play next week. But then I also kind of sit down and say, when you think about it, like he's only won one POV competition. Tishan hasn't won anything at all.
I made a note of that because he said tonight, he's like, in my head, I'm a comp beast, but I haven't made anything or won anything. And I'm like, exactly. I've been saying this. Like everybody's like, get the boys out. They're so powerful. They're so powerful. I'm like, no, they're not. They're just big.
They're tall
big,
and,
like
and
muscular
they work
guys.
out.
That's literally it. They don't have the greatest social game because everybody's already going for them. They feel like they run the house when they really don't.
No.
And they're talking about how they're like fucking comp beasts when girls are constantly beating them. And yeah, I said it. Little girls are beating you, boys. Like,
true story.
Call me sexist, whatever. It's fucking, I can't keep up with what's like fucking appropriate anymore. So I said it. It's just, I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, little girls. And I'm like, is that offensive? Should I say that? I don't care. Said it.
Don't care.
Not taking it back.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I was happy actually when Beth won it because as soon as she kind of like won it, she was already thinking about how this was going to work for her game, and she wasn't even thinking about the boys, which I like. Kind of, it was in the back of her head, but then I was like, you know what? This is your HOH. This shit.
I was back and forth with her since fucking like last week's episode or fucking Monday night's episode and tonight's episode so many times because I'm like, okay, she's HOH. And that's what it was about. It was like, play your own game. Oh no, you're going to go with the guys. Like, fuck off, Beth. You're smarter than this. No, play your own game. Oh, good. She's playing her own game. No, she's listening to, like, I honestly was flip-flopping so much. And anyway, like, I couldn't figure it out. But what about when she won and she said, I can't put my boys on slop?
I literally was just like, so you can't put them on slop. They've never been on slop. The poor fella's like like none of them have had a shitty time in the house so far. Do you know what I mean? They haven't touched the block. They haven't had slop. I would have been like, fuck this. I'm just gonna throw you guys on slop, just or at least one of them.
But even if she didn't do either of them, she could have just not said anything about how she wasn't putting, like, she could have just picked her slop people and not been like, I can't do that to my boys. I was like,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Yeah, I didn't like that
I've got a
either.
love-hate relationship with her because I'm actually really proud of the game she's playing right now. But man, do I get so mad at her.
I know.
Like, I think she's the girl in the house who, like, I don't know, I'd probably be, I don't know, I'd be like hit and miss with her. Some days I think we'd be friends, and other days I'd be like, you need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. I'm definitely ready to see more moves with Bray. I'm really, really happy that
He's
him and
stepping it up.
Ro, yeah, they're kind of partnered, and he's doing some like behind the scenes work now. Like, if Braden can start winning some competitions and like keep doing the in people's ears like he's doing, because I think he's a really good social player, especially now that Austin's gone and he's actually making other connections. If he can keep doing what he's doing, like he's got a good chance of winning too.
He could. You never know.
Side note, so does Alberta not have rats? Is that like Beth, I think it was Beth, she said Alberta doesn't have rats. Like, they just like you know how, okay, so we're in Newfoundland for anybody listening, and in case you couldn't tell from our really proper accents.
I don't know that that's true. Like, that can't be even possible.
Well, we don't have raccoons.
Yeah, but we're on an island.
Yeah, but so, I don't know. Maybe they just don't have rats.
No, but like logistically, for us to not have raccoons, it would be because of the fact that they would need to travel across a body of water to get here. So I mean,
climate thing.
They would have to be brought here from either a plane or a boat. And what are the chances that that's going to happen? Do you know what I mean? They have to be imported here.
But what about like in Alberta? Could it be like a climate thing that they don't have? I don't know. Anyway, she said they don't have rats, and then that spewed this whole debate about reindeer not being real. Like, Jed and Ty,
I cannot even.
They don't believe, and like even at the end, like Braden's like, yes, reindeer, yes, I've seen them. Like, reindeer are real. And even at the end, Ty was like, no, I'm not buying it.
I'm like, how are these guys so stupid? Like,
I don't know.
Honestly, sometimes I wonder. I'm just like, but then I remember the look of bewilderment that is constantly on Ty's face, and I'm just like, yeah, kind of makes sense though. But yet I sit there and I'm just like,
I wonder though if they're playing the role, because they don't seem stupid, but then they say, like, could it just be because I mean, let's face it, some of the things that they're saying I could have easily said.
Yeah, I mean, there's moments of like common sense stupidity. Like, let's be honest. How many times this week did I say something to you over text that I was just like, why are you such a dummy, Crystal? I cannot believe that you just said that. And it was just like, I can't even take it back because it was in text.
Like, could it be that situation? You know what I mean?
Could be, because I mean, on a general basis, I don't think that I'm all that stupid, but I'm having a really fucking blonde week.
It's like the full moon. The other thing is too, we're seeing what like the cuts, like the producers and everybody wants us to see. So like, if there's like a you just stuck your foot in your mouth moment, they're going to show it.
Oh, 100% for sure.
Right? Like, definitely.
Yeah, but that was a pretty funny conversation.
It was good. I had you knew I was making notes about that. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah. How about the fact that Braden figured out that Victoria was the invisible HOH?
Yeah, I mean, they were all kind of talking about it and they kind of figured it out. Like, I mean, they had to know before this.
I don't know. I think she did a good job. Like, think about the way she played. Like, we know because we saw it. You know what I mean? Like, we saw it play out and we understand, but like, if we were in the house and everybody's paranoid, like, that's the house. The house is paranoid anyway. And then they make HOH like completely unknown, and like, you're already watching your back, and now you're going around, you don't know who's lying and who's not lying, and not one person is admitting it. Nobody's slipping up. Everybody's stone-faced. How do you know? Like,
I would have pinned it on her anyway, because I would have been like, she's the best liar in the house, clearly. And you know what? Like
But
I
we
said
only
to you,
know that she's a good liar because we know she's lying.
that's
The
true, I
people in the
suppose.
house don't know that she's a good liar because they
Well,
can't see
to be
it.
fair, Jed and Ty wouldn't be able to tell a lie if it smacked him in the fucking face. So I just can't even with the two
Yeah,
of
they
them.
don't have good instincts.
They can't read anybody. Like, it's just, anyway. So are we up to the point where they all got like the messages because they all went crazy and
I
there was like
screeched.
bawling everywhere.
Did
It
you
was so
cry? Do
funny.
you get emotional when you watch that?
No.
I bawled. Like I heard one of their family members. I didn't see their reaction. I just heard somebody say like, "Oh, what are you at?" or whatever, and I fucking started welling up. I was cooking supper. This is when I went on Instagram and I started doing my story. I was like, "This game is so good." I legit had to fix my makeup because I was like watching it and then I'd just like concentrate on, I was making spaghetti, so I just concentrate on like cooking the meat and everything, and then I was like, okay, watching it, trying to give it like a little side eye, like, oh yeah, oh that's nice, that's a nice message, and I'd have to look away again because
No
like
way.
I get so choked up at like, I don't know, I think I'm just an easy crier for like that kind of stuff.
Maybe, yeah.
Sentimental,
No,
but yeah, no,
that's
I
not me.
cried. I cried a
I
lot.
was like, I was watching it and Jason and I were sitting down watching it. And I was like, see, this is where you would probably excel. And I was like, I said, you know, you would get on here and I said, you wouldn't even be crying. And then, and, and he was just like, well, what if I did cry? And he was like, maybe I'd see, you know, a video and then all of a sudden I would cry. And he was like, but then I wouldn't be able to because you had this conversation with me. And then I looked at him and I was like, oh, wouldn't be that the reason why? Because like realistically, my whole video to you would be me and the kids being like, hey, we miss you. And I'd be like, don't be crying like a little bitch in there. I would.
I would screech. I would
Yeah.
screech. I would almost need you to be the one sending the video, but then I'd be pissed because I'd be like, where's my husband,
and daughter?
Like, what the fuck? But I'd also be like, okay, good strategy, Crystal.
Yeah.
Game on. And then I'd go
I'd
cry
do
in
the
the
same
diary
thing
room.
for you. I would. I'd just send you a message and I'd be like, all right, Melissa, it's time to friggin' sack up here.
Yeah.
Don't cry like a little bitch. Get this shit on the go.
Yeah. And I'd be like, let's go.
And then buy me a bike with a fucking banana seat.
And a gel cover.
Yes.
And a gel cover. Okay.
To protect the goods.
Yeah. So when Tara's family, especially, because like her little kids, they're like, Mommy, you're my hero. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I can't fucking watch this. I made a lot of notes about if Beth like really does backdoor Vic, it would be an amazing move. And then I said, Beth, don't listen to the guys, do what's best for your game. And I made a note that said, because I was so fucking frustrated with the seesaw of what I thought was going to happen.
Well, and I mean, the other side of it too is I feel like it was the same situation when Kiefer had an HOH a couple weeks back too, because the guys were like discussing it like it was even their choice. And
Kiefer like, lets it be other people's choices.
Yeah, right. But at the same time, I'm just sitting there and it's like, man, all I could think was Beth better hold her own because like here they are trying to just run the HOH. Like, sorry to tell you guys, yes, you're a team, but Big Brother is not a team sport.
But see, that's like what Beth is doing is exactly what I like about the show. And it's exactly what I get really annoyed with the US version, because it feels like the last few seasons, or like probably the last 10 seasons or so with the US version, they always just kind of swing and they vote as a house and everybody decides what they're going to do and nobody gets blindsided or backdoored or whatever. And whoever is in an alliance, the alliance decides what the HOH does. And I'm like, that's not how you play. That's how you help your friends win money. That's not how you win, right? So I'm very, very like tickled with how she's playing it out because I just didn't know how it was going to go. I do think it's hilarious how threatened the guys feel by Ro. Like, I get it. He's obviously like, he's the cunt beast.
He's the cunt beast.
How they feel threatened, it's got to be ego driven, right? It's like, I think that there are these two big, powerful, muscular men in the house who don't win a whole lot, just FYI. But I think that he's the only other quote unquote dominant, like alpha male in their eyes left in the house. Right? Like it's literally two of them, it's Braden and it's Ro, right?
Yeah.
So I think they look at the rest of the house like, okay, Ro's the only one who's like a quote unquote alpha male who's like our competition. I'm like, that's gotta be an ego thing. Like that's these guys just wanting to feel powerful over
100%. All that's happening there is that they see that he is, number one, he's a smaller guy. I mean, like he doesn't have the height, he doesn't have quite the same stature as the rest, as those two. Yeah. And yet he is blowing them out of the water in like every POV. He keeps going up and he keeps taking himself off.
POV, but his social game is also fantastic. He's
in with everybody.
He's very strategic. He's not afraid to play the game on his own.
No.
You know what I mean? Like he's making deals. Like he's a fucking great player.
Yeah, I think so too.
What did you think of Beth's nomination speech?
I actually loved it.
Me too. Me too. She drives me.
Get it, girl.
I'm like last week, I'm like, fuck, I just want Beth to go home next. And then she wins HOH. And now I'm like, damn, she's doing good. I'm proud of her.
And I like how it was like so, it was so very, there was so much subtext to it that we knew and that she knew, but that her true target really didn't know. Like,
oh, beautifully. Okay.
Yeah, so
well,
good.
That brings us up to tonight's episode. So Ro and Tara are on the block. That's who she decided to put up. And her plan going into tonight's episode was put them both up, make the boys happy, make, everybody happy, whatever. Win POV, like somebody wins POV and comes down, and then put up Vic as a replacement now. So there are a couple of like obviously holes in that plan, because what if Vic got picked to play Vito and then won, then you can't put her up and you're kind of fucked. But she didn't get picked to play Vito. Tonight's episode, my first note, Tina right off the bat with her cup of tea headed into, I told you I was going to be on Tea Watch right away. First fucking clip of the show or whatever. Here's Tina with her cup of tea, sat down talking to Tara. Like, love it. I was very, I think it's just like, it's just fucking good TV. I'm just pumped. Like, Kiefer comes into the room with Tara and Tina, who he's supposed to be like sliding toward. And him and Tara get into it because he's telling her, watch out for Ro, man. Ro doesn't have your back like you think he does and all this sort of stuff. And she's like, you are with guys who tried to vote you out. Like,
I know.
Keep your eyes on your own fucking alliance. And then two of them, and then what was it? Kiefer said something to Tina, like, I don't know, fuck off, Tina. I know that wasn't what he said, but like, and then he leaves and Tina's like, he needs to just stop running his mouth so much. Like, I was just very, I didn't see that coming.
Well, because sometimes it's like he talks too much, and then other times he doesn't talk enough, and I'm just like, I'm so confused at his gameplay still. Like, to this day,
for him to
go
back
home. And forth.
I think that the boys are cool, and Kiefer feels like he's part of the cool boys, and that he likes being included.
Right.
Like, that's the vibe I'm getting, is that this is about like, I like these guys. They're nice to me. They're friends with me. I'm fitting in. And I feel like he probably just wants to fit in.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So that's kind of like how I feel. I made a pile of notes the whole episode of Beth wimps out and wimps. If Beth, I'm not drinking. I don't know why I just say it so often, but I slur so much. Like, if I was drinking, I'd probably be BC, super clear, and like pronounce everything perfectly, but I'm not. So you get slur face Melissa. But I said, if Beth wimps out and doesn't put up Vic, I'm going to be very annoyed.
Oh, I would have been so pissed.
I just kept making those fucking notes because I didn't know. And like, part of me wonders, so like, spoiler alert, fucking, she went through with her plan. But part of me wonders if like nobody took anybody off the block. Or sorry, I'm an idiot. If it wasn't Ro who came off the block, like say Tara won and took herself off, would she still put up Vic? Do you know what I mean? Like, or would Rose still be the target? Because that was her decision. But I just thought, I'm happy that it happened, but I feel like it was a no-brainer decision because Roe came down.
Oh, probably, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the guys may have swayed her the other way because she was back and forth a lot. Either way, I'm proud of it. I thought it was a great job. What I made a note to ask you, what did you think when Vic looked at the camera and said, they can't be as good as this game as I am?
I was like, you don't know what's coming, bitch.
Yeah. I was like, Crystal is like shitting right now. She's so happy at this moment. So backstory for anybody who's just listening to tonight's episode, I don't know why. Well, I guess because if you're watching Big Brother, you're not going to care about what we thought fucking weeks ago. You just want to know what's going on tonight. So it makes sense. Crystal is really frustrated with Vic. So we both think she's playing an awesome game, or was.
Oh yeah.
But she's just really annoyed by her personality, and I've been liking her personality up until I'm a little bit like done with it now. But I really like her, and Crystal's like, she's been done with her for weeks, so that's why I made that note.
Yeah, like from the very first day.
Yeah,
weeks.
like
I don't like her.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was so funny because she's like, she did not see this coming. Yeah. How about Jed telling Beth that he loved her?
Well, this is going to go right up with the, I don't cry when I'm watching this. I was legitimately just like,
rolled your eyes.
Yeah. I like almost threw up in my mouth. I was like, fuck off, guys. Like, seriously, get out.
You're in love. You're not in love. It's Stockholm syndrome. You're stuck in a house together and you're just picking the best of the worst. You're like, oh, if I got to be stuck with these people, like this guy's kind of good, I guess. Like, I'll go with him. You know what I mean? Or girl or whatever. Like, but at the same time, going back to my point earlier, Big Brother does like create a lot of fucking solid relationships. So I guess, but I don't know.
I mean, here's the thing.
I love you. I'm like, oh, Jesus.
If you spend 24/7 with somebody, like, I mean, I think we've had this conversation before where, you know, if you did the math on how many hours you actually spend with somebody, it's almost the equivalent to spending an entire year.
It's true.
Relationship with somebody. Like, within I don't think 60 days.
Here's my problem. Like, just personally, not with the show, with like, if I were to go on it, I love my husband and my daughter, and they're probably the only two people in this world, and that includes like my family, like my biological like parents and brother and grandparents. That includes you and Selena, like my closest friends. I don't think I could live with anybody other than my husband and my daughter. No. Because like, as much as like I wouldn't want to be lonely, that it's just hard to live with people. Like, and it took years. So me and Drew have been together 14 years. We've been living together probably 12 or fucking 11. And it took a long time to like, and we're still working on not pissing each other off every day from like our regular personalities and trying to live together. Like it's a lot. So, I mean, you're going to take the premise behind the show is already brilliant because you're going to take a bunch of strangers and stuff them in a house together. They're going to drive each other crazy. They're either going to fucking hate each other or fall in love. There's no medium.
But I mean, you're putting them in like, it's literally like an experiment. It's a petri dish where these people don't even have their real lives happening around them. You know what I mean? So literally all they do is sleep and play games and work out and do like live their best lives. Yeah. And there's no work schedules to contend with. There's no like, you know, family members to contend with. Like, that's when the real shit starts coming out. So I'm like, yeah, okay, great. You're in the beginning stages of love. And I get that it's like, you know, almost the equivalent of an entire year's worth of relationship. But it's like, okay, well, the rest
what
of
about
us
when you go home and you meet Auntie Fran and she fucking hates like,
well, that's the thing, right? I mean, like, you know, most of us move out of our parents' house because we can't live with them any longer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Okay, so Beth's attitude for herself. I said I love her attitude for herself. I love that she's starting to think gameplay for herself, not just the boys.
Yes.
She's starting to think, okay, like they're not going to take me to final two. And if Kiefer gets to final four, he's not taking me to final three. So she's like, I loved hearing, I didn't come here to win final four. I came here to win the game. And I'm like,
That's
good
right.
for you. So now I don't want her to go home because I think that's fucking deadly. And I just made another side note that I would be super disappointed if she listened to the boys.
Right.
This brings us to POV.
Mm-hmm.
So the players, actually, you know what's funny? I wrote POV players. Like I was going to make a note of everybody who played, and then I did not write down anybody who played. I think I was texting you then. I was like, oh, well, POV starting now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that it was smart that Beth was planting seeds. I feel like we're just seeing her game. We're just seeing it start because she started planting seeds in Tina's head that, you know, if Tara goes home this week, then something has gone horribly wrong. Like she's letting Tina and Tara know, hey guys, like this is just gameplay. I want to work with you. I want to be your friend. Like we're far enough in the game now that she's starting to sprinkle seeds outside of her alliance so that she can make sure that she's still using the guys as a shield, that other people take shots at them and not her. And then that she's also got relationships to fall back on if that alliance starts to break up and they go home. And she's working on jury management.
Oh yeah, big time.
She might be the surprise fucking player that we did not expect to do anything in this game.
Very possible.
Like, I feel like she's pulling it out, and I'm here for it. I'm on board. Ty, yeah, we already talked about that. He's a fucking comp beast, like nobody. You've got big muscles. No. That's it. Give it up. Ro is the comp beast.
Oh, 100%.
This is his third veto now in a row.
In a row, yeah. His third veto.
Consecutive in a row. Yeah. Consecutively in a row.
Yep. That's what in a row means. Yep.
That's an office joke. You didn't get that one.
I don't get it.
Oh, Crystal. Yeah, so I'm pumped. I loved it because then this means that we're forced to see Beth's cards now. So like Ro is definitely coming off. I think I said Vic that time. I meant to say Beth. Ro is definitely coming off. Beth has to put somebody else up. Is she going to put Vic up? And then she started talking about how she might put up Tina, or that might have been beforehand. But either way, I was like,
yeah, because she was getting nervous at the end of it. So when Vic came to talk to her after she spoke with the boys, and the boys were like already on board at that point, and then they were like, you know, lying to her face basically in the HOH room, and then she went down to talk to her downstairs in, I guess, like that Expedia room or whatever. And you know, then she's down there, and then she started second guessing herself because then she felt bad. And I'm just like, don't feel bad. Like, you need to get her out now. Realistically,
he will stab you in the back in a fucking heartbeat. And then Vic's going on about the blind side and how she would be able to do it, and she's cutthroat and everything. And I was like, oh my God, Alanis Morissette needs to come on this set with a fucking guitar and play ironic, because this is just the perfect example.
It really is.
Of irony. Like it was so good.
Well, and then I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, okay, so if she didn't, what happens? You know what I mean? Like, first I was sitting there and I was trying to like play through the scenarios. I was going, okay, if she doesn't put her up there, like, when do you think you're going to get her out? Because right now the boys aren't even really on board. They're just going along with you.
And they're naive. They're like,
they're
oh, we won't be able to make a shot at Ro later. Well, listen, okay. Yes, Ro is definitely like the fucking veto king. But like, to me, getting Ro out versus getting Vic out, they were pretty even. They were pretty equal. Yeah. Honestly. Like, Vic is like, you know,
she's won a bunch of competitions. He's won a bunch of POVs. Like, they're both equally you know, comp beast, if you want to say. Like, she's won like 3 competitions, he's won 3 competitions, whether they were HOH or POV.
Maybe Ro is more open about getting the guys out, where Vic is like really wanting to be on their team. Like, she's been begging for them to be friends with her since day one.
Pretty
So
much.
like that's what it is. They know that they can play her, but Beth can't. Beth's like, no, she'll turn on me in a heartbeat, and she's not wrong.
Well, she even said it that she wants to be in the 3, and
She
you guys
wants to
don't
be
see
the
it.
Beth. She wants to
Yeah.
be Beth, basically.
She does.
Rose Vito's speech was wicked. It was really
Oh my
funny.
God, yes.
Like,
So good.
yeah, so good. Okay, so I just need to say, oh my God, Canadian Big Brother
Hmm.
is the fucking bomb. Is that a
It
thing?
is.
Do people still say bomb? Like it's the bomb.com. Like
I think so.
it's so good. It's cutthroat. The fucking blind side. So like, okay, Beth's speech was phenomenal. What did
It
she say?
was.
She said things are about to get spicy, and
Yep.
Vic smiled, and I was like, she knows. And then she's like,
But
Vic,
she
take a
didn't.
seat. She didn't have a fucking clue.
No idea. She was so shocked, and I was just like, "That's the look I'm looking for."
It was beautiful.
Yeah,
Like
it
you
was.
can't act that. She couldn't have acted that. Like that was. She's a great liar, but
No.
she got blindsided, and it was so nice. And you know what I love the most?
That she appreciated it.
She's impressed by the blind side. I'm like,
She
this is the
was.
girl I want to fucking play Big Brother against. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
She's
Yeah,
like,
she
that
was
was
so
a good
shocked.
game move. Like, let's be honest, it was.
I had butterflies right up until Beth announced it. I didn't know what
Did
was going
you?
to happen. I was like, oh my God. I was like excited because I got
Yeah.
really involved. I'm involved in this show when there's like swings and everything's back and forth and they're stabbing each other in the back. You don't know what's going to happen. I'm down for it. Like I'm
Yeah.
super involved with that. So like, you know, the boring ones where everybody just votes for whoever you want to go home and like when the nominees know what's going to happen, it fucking drives me. So yeah, I was like pumped up as if I was going to go up and say the fucking speech and put her on the block. I was so excited for it. So love that. Really proud of Beth. I said that she has good balls. I'm proud of her balls.
She does have good balls.
She's got some tight testes.
Right?
They're tight.
Large. Nice.
They're
tight.
large. Oh my God, we're such losers. But we're like not though. We're cool.
No,
We're
we
fun. Okay. My next and final. Do you have anything about tonight's episode that you want to say before we discuss it?
No, I think at this point I'm just like, I can't wait to see what Vic is going to try this week. She is going to be pulling out
It's not this week.
of the stuff.
It's not this week. She has tonight. She has tonight. Eviction is tomorrow.
That's right.
Like, that's the thing. It was a total blindside. She didn't even let her know that she was going to be going up on the block. She's like,
yeah, that's true.
Sorry, Vito done. So she has like a day. I'm assuming Vito happened like today or maybe yesterday or like 2 days that we might see footage of to try to convince people to get her to stay. Like it's, I'm excited.
Well, I mean, the Vito ceremony was tonight. Like it was live tonight, wasn't it?
No, I don't think Vito goes live. Vito it's only Thursdays. Yeah, it's only Thursdays. So for anybody listening, we record this episode Wednesday night. So we watch Thursday's Eviction, then we watch Monday Night Show, and then we watch Wednesday Night Show, and then immediately turn on our cameras, which is why we're gorgeous, because we get ready for bed beforehand, because we upload this to our podcast schedule, and then we go to fuck sleep because it's already past my bedtime.
Because I gotta get up at 4:45.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You'll see it on our Instagram stories. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so tomorrow is double eviction. So any predictions? What are we predicting here, Crystal? So I'm gonna predict that Vic is going home. Like she's got.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, which sucks because she's a good player, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm on board. I'm for it. Like,
I mean, you know what? It was solid gameplay, so I can't fault. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like not mad.
Get her out.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put Mel and Crystal. Crystal. Can I start calling you Crystal?
I mean, I can be down with that.
All right, you are Crystal. So I'm gonna say Vic goes home.
Yep.
And then we're gonna see either
it's gonna be a quick HOH game.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Roe or Brayden wins HOH. And they're both gonna nominate the guys, Jed and Ty.
Oh yeah. If either one of them do, it's gonna be the boys.
That's my prediction. And then after that, we'll see what happens. But that's my prediction.
Yeah, because honestly, I can't see anybody else winning it, and Beth can't play. So
yeah, Beth can't play, and Vic will be gone. I mean, like Tina could surprise us. I would love. Okay, so that's my prediction. What I want to happen
I would love for
is
Tina to win it.
Tina to win, because I want to see what she's got going on. I want to see her win a game and
Start
and
busting
fucking
it out when it
polarize
matters.
us. Yes, man. Like, all right, I'm rooting for Tina. I think it's going to be Roa Braden, and I think regardless, Thursday night Jed and Ty are going to be on the block, or Monday night Jed and Ty.
I think at least one of them will be on the block for sure,
Mhm.
because I think that depending on the competition, Jed could pull it out. Ty won't. I'll be shocked if he does.
Ty's a comp beast, though.
No way.
Nope. You are lying to yourself, Ty, to Sean. Sorry to tell you, you're not a comp beast. Can you tell that it's past my bedtime? I'm starting to like sing my thoughts now.
Get giddy.
I'm getting silly. It's time to get silly. I think that means it's time to end it.
I think so
about
too.
to get real silly. Okay. All right, guys, that's a little peek inside my brain. So on that note, I'm going to play us out.
Well, I yawn.
While Crystal yawns, because we are very young. All right. Oh, didn't hit play. All right. And that is all she wrote, guys. We will see you tomorrow, actually, because we've got an amazing episode coming up Friday. So we'll talk then, and we'll talk Big Brother next Thursday. Bye.
Bye.